move forward a little bit. I almost clapped my own nose.
Yeah, get comfortable. Because I doubt we're going to do a classic long episode, no doubt.
You're listening to The Great and Secret Knowledge, a speculative fiction podcast. I'm Jeff, and with me, of course, it's Jessie.
Hello.
Tell them what they've won, Jessie.
They've won some ruby slippers, some green ornaments. They've won some scary, scary 1980s nightmares. It's Return to Oz.
Return to Oz. We're back at it.
We're finally coming through with this promise that we've been teasing for quite a few episodes now. Before.
Oh, yes. It's been quite some time. This is a fine film. One of the few fantasy movies that I watched more than once as a youth. I think I might have seen it more than the original.
Oh, that's a big
call. It was too scary, so I would usually give up halfway through, like the Mombi's head section.
Oh, yes, yeah. The Wheelers are the thing everyone goes back to in the way.
Awful sons of bitches.
Legitimately terrifying. Are they the worst, scariest 1980s fantasy villain? Like, what's the worst? Is it the Wheelers?
Well, I mean, worst you could say Stormtroopers, but as far as aliens, or weird
I don't find Stormtroopers
beasties.
scary.
Jabba or the Rankor.
Maybe I watched Star Wars a bit later. I think I watched it in the mid-90s. So I would have been at least 10 when I watched that, where I think I was younger seeing this and Labyrinth. The Skeksis from Dark Crystal, pretty scary.
No, I don't even fuck with Dark Crystal. Those things looked scary from the box of the video. I couldn't touch it. I don't think I've ever made it through that one.
Oh, Jeff's sensitive.
No, in fact, I did force myself to watch it all the way through last year. That's right.
Still scarred?
Well, just the ending was a little meh, if I remember correctly. And I didn't like to look at the main characters, the little elfin people. I didn't.
Gelflings?
Yeah, I didn't like to look at them, so it makes the movie hard. Skeksis were scary, though.
Yeah, the Skeksis were scary. I thought the little Gelflings were pretty cute. But yeah, we don't have to do. It's not a favorite of mine either, so I think we can agree we're not doing the Dark Crystal.
Do the Xenomorphs from Aliens count?
Oh, yeah, I think they would count. I mean, Alien wasn't a children's film.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, we got to stay within our lane. Yeah.
The dogs in Willow, they scarred
they are
me.
Pretty fucking scary, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That stopped me from watching Willow as a kid, and I didn't watch it until I was in year 8. So about, 13 years old, because I just was too scarred from that opening scene.
Yeah.
But this one, like the Wheelers, the Deadly Desert, I had nightmares about too.
Oh, that's scary. We've all played that game where you have to put down pillows to not hit hot lava, or in this case, stone sand.
Yeah, that'll turn you into stone. Even just the concept of quicksand was something I used to have nightmares about.
Turns out it's way rarer than we thought. It's not something you run into generally.
And it doesn't suck you down. It kind of... I have been caught when I was in the Highlands of Scotland. My foot got stuck in the boggy mud, and my tour guide had to come and rescue me and pull my foot out of it because I was stuck in the mud, and I started to really panic. I think that's scarring from...
Yeah, if you were alone, that would have been it for you.
I would have lost my shoe at least. I would have lost my shoe. But I'd just gotten them. They were new Doc Martens. I didn't want to lose my Doc Marten, and those aren't cheap.
Hell no.
Even if I got them, second hand on my friend who I lived with in the UK, he used to restore old Doc Martens and resell them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's
I have to tell him to listen now. Hi, Colin.
Hey, Colin. So it's been a month or something. You have had some stuff, and I've missed you terribly. It's going to be so great to talk about Return to Oz. But by the time this is out, folks have been able to listen to Neverending Story.
Willow. What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I hope they enjoy Return to Oz the way we do.
I assume some regular listeners will be like, they've been promising this for ages.
Yeah, now, on IMDb, this film only has a 6.8 out of 10, which I find surprising. It just hasn't become a classic for some reason. I was trying to come up with some, but I wasn't enjoying myself, so I just ended that activity.
Well, there's lots. What I noticed when researching this on IMDb is how many different Oz-based things there are. So there's obviously Wicked and the original movie. But then there's The Marvelous Land of Oz, the one that has Michelle Williams and James Franco and Mila Kunis, which is okay, but I love stuff in Oz. I love stuff set in Oz. Anything in this world. I mean, this is me, who's got a ruby slippers tattooed on one rib and a pink bubble and Elphaba's broom from Wicked on the other. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I was just rewatching Wicked. That's a great movie.
I can't wait for the second half. I've had to bite my tongue as a fan of the musical, having seen the stage show. For those who have not, with spoilers for the second half, because that's not out yet. We're in this weird limbo waiting for Wicked for good.
Ah, interesting.
So the second half is coming out in, I'm assuming, November, because they filmed it all together. I can't wait. Ariana Grande, I had such low expectations, and she blew me away. I didn't know how funny she was.
I mean, she was a Disney Channel person. I just never saw those shows.
Same. I think we're both a bit old to have been Disney Channel.
Yeah,
also,
they usually pick quadruple threats to lead those shows. Justin Timberlake.
Brittany.
Is Mandy Moore on one of those? Who'd you say? Oh, Brittany. Yep.
The icon herself.
Did she have her own show?
No, neither did Timberlake. They were both just in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Okay. He just happened to be funny. Who else was up there?
Ryan Reynolds. Not Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling. He was a Mouseketeer.
Nice.
There's been quite a few.
Yeah, we know he can sing from Barbie. I wanna push you around. I wanna push you around.
Well, I will. I was more I'm just Ken. Oh, iconic. That dance performance at the Oscars, including our favorite, Shooty Gatwa,
Ooh.
as,
Yes, as a
as a
Ken.
Ken. And the amazing John Cena as Merkin. He wasn't at the Oscars, but I loved Barbie so much. It was so good. I saw it like 3 times in the cinema.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did Barbenheimer on the day.
That's great. So let's talk about this. Walter Murch had the idea for this. He championed this whole idea. It was to sort of like show more of the actual Kansas, the way it really was for people, and then to juxtapose that with Oz in Trouble, which they pulled in from a couple different books, I believe.
Except the Kansas film scenes were filmed in the UK.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. They found. I didn't write down the actual location, but in my research, I discovered they filmed the. It was like Wiltshire somewhere. So one of the shears in which there's so many of in the UK. But they found an area that they thought looked or would have looked like Kansas at the time. This is 18. So this is set in 1899, which is 6 months after Dorothy's original trip. So Aunt Em mentions that it's been 6 months since she disappeared the first time. Somehow she's de-aged 7 years in that time.
Well, I mean, it's because the 39 movie went off book and made her 16 for some reason. Or at least a 16-year-old played her.
So book Dorothy was 8 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Judy was 16 when she played Dorothy, and they had to strap down her boobs.
Yeah.
Because this was kind of one of the last ones where she was in that more childlike role and they were trying to keep her young.
Was she really playing it 10 years old, or was she sort of somewhere in the 13, 14?
I think they were aiming for 13 was the goal. But she's... Because originally they had cast Shirley Temple.
Oh, that would have been perfect, yeah.
Yeah, they'd cut, but for whatever reason, I think... Or they were trying to get her, and maybe she wasn't an MGM star, so they had... Because back then it was the studio system, so you had to borrow.
You'd have to rent them, yeah.
Yeah. And Judy was definitely with MGM. Like, it's, well documented. Louis B. Mayer's poor treatment of her.
Oh, God.
Give her pet pills to get up in the morning and sleepy time pills to sleep at night.
Yeah, so this one, I don't know what kind of huge child star they were looking for. They got Fairuza Balk. At the time, was this her first film?
I'm not sure if it was she was one of like 1,000 people they auditioned.
Oh my God.
And she was the second youngest out of all the ones they auditioned. She was 9. Well, I felt she was 9 to 10 when they filmed this. So she's definitely looking like the age difference between her and Judy Garland is glaring.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's some of what motivated them to... I don't know. I don't know if it affected at all the production, but it could have been that like it became darker because they were trying to go back to the books more and like, I don't know, set them apart somehow.
Well, this was a combination of the Land of Oz and Ozma of Oz books.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the Mombi and the Gnome King were in 2 different books. There's a lot of Yeah, it's a crossover of two of the books. Because you read a lot of the books when you were young, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Some of my first fantasy books.
I read a few, whatever my library had.
Yeah, I think I read all the Frank Baums. There was like 12 or 13 of them. And then his kid or somebody started writing more.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't read those.
Yeah, I don't think I read all of them, but whatever I could get my hands on, I definitely read. But it's, yeah, so book Dorothy was 8 to 10 across the books she was in. Oh, and yeah, Return. So I think the Land of Oz, Dorothy goes back, or is it Oz? One of the books, Dorothy goes back, and the other one is just kind of set in Oz.
Like without her.
Yeah, without her.
Yeah. So there's a couple notable people in this film. Jean Marsh, we love from Doctor Who.
And Willow.
She was Morgan Le Fay in Battlefield from season 26 or 25, one of those. And Piper Laurie was in Twin Peaks.
And of course, Jean Marsh was Beth Mortar.
Yeah.
So there's a few.
This is crazy. I went down the list. Deep Roy plays Tin Man.
Yes.
Oh my God. I owe you a cookie or a pie. We don't see much of him, so I missed it.
Well, I imagine he's the voice only because Tin Man was only in it for seconds at the end. No, he was like a Tin Man. He was stoned for most of the film. He's only turns up at the end.
Yeah, you don't need Deep Roy necessarily to puppet a Tin Man. You can just do the voice.
If they made it animatronic, but there was a lot of budgetary issues, like the reason the Scarecrow's face is fixed. It was for budgetary reasons. They originally were going to do it like with the Gump, where it was fully animated, but they ran out of budget. This just occurred to me. This film does give me John Waters energy. Like, it's got that...
Okay, not content-wise, but production?
Yeah, well, I think it's just got a darkness to it, and really leans into it in that sense. Like, it just... Let's just make it as fucked up as possible. Which is the, standard John Waters...
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have been more fucked up. Like, we could have kept, like, cutting back to the mental hospital. You know, we could have, like, returned there at the end. She could have been captured and returned there. Like, there's a lot of stuff that could have made it worse, but it was bad enough.
This just occurred to me. Maybe this is why I was inspired to finally watch Shutter Island this week after watching this. Because it's got that element crossed over.
Yeah.
I'm, horrified that it's taken me this long to watch Shutter Island, considering what a DiCaprio fangirl I usually am. As an actor, not a person.
Right.
But I'd be... we just love Oz. I've told you, I'm sure I was in a production of The Wizard of Oz. And my parents played Uncle Henry and Aunt Em, but I did not get the part as Dorothy.
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
So hold on a minute. Why didn't they just make the Scarecrow's face just a person and like comp it into the shots?
Is it, again, budgetary?
Rather than animating.
Well, they just had him there as, like, the whole time he's just got a silly grin. You don't really kind of... And they, like, occasionally animate moving his mouth.
Yeah, I would have just put a person.
Well, much like the original.
Save money.
Like, just make sense. Like, do it like the original. I don't like the Scarecrow in this because I think I just really enjoy the Scarecrow in the original.
Yeah, I think if I was to alter this in any way, it would be to just make everything punch a little harder. Like the hospital is a little scarier.
The hospital was scary enough.
And the drama and the pageantry of the Emerald City when it's repaired should just be like, that's where I'd spend my budget. You know what I mean? Like, so it starts small and ends like as big as it can be. But instead, this one kind of is like, oh, flashy. The city's kind of back to normal and there's green stuff. Oh, she's back by the river, you know.
I never understood why she didn't take the job as Queen of Oz.
I don't remember why in the book. I would assume that it was like the 39 movie where there's no place like home, you know. Got to get back to Henry and Aunt Em.
Yeah, gotta keep rebuilding that house since Henry doesn't seem to be doing it much.
I have an important question.
Mm-hmm.
Does time work differently in Oz? Or did the Gnome King's power just make everything look like it had been destroyed years ago?
I think it's like Narnia, where time goes a lot quicker in these fantasy worlds. Like there was, Narnia, there was like the original, the four Pevensey children lived as kings and kings into adulthood, and then suddenly are back as children in the professor's house seconds after they left, after literally living decades as kings and queens of Narnia. So I think it's like that. That's what I always interpret it, but that may be because that was around that era, would have been right when I was reading all the Narnia books. And Speaking of Narnia, quick, do you know Greta Gerwig doing the series, doing a series of the movies? Starting with The Magician's Nephew, which is amazing because it never gets covered. It always starts with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in film and TV versions, and it drives me insane because there is a prequel.
Yeah, I can understand like not reading that first if you're reading the series because it wasn't published first. But like if you're making a series, you might as well start at the quote beginning.
I certainly read them in that order, from The Magician's Nephew, and severely overlooked The Horse and His Boy, which is the only one that doesn't kind of cross over in. It's completely set within the Narnia world. That's amazing. I love that one. So, well, definitely, if we haven't already got those on the list. But when the new ones come out, I can't wait. Greta Gerwig does good work.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, that's the writers and the actors. Production design in this thing is pretty damn good.
Yeah, for the 80s especially.
Yeah, I mean the costuming, everything looks great.
Minimal CGI.
Not quite as sumptuous as 39, but like why would you even try to compete if you didn't have a massive budget?
And they've got limited rights. Like they had to obviously get permission to use the ruby slippers because in the books they're not ruby. That's the reason that the shoes aren't ruby in Wicked.
Right.
Because the shoes were originally silver and they would have to they couldn't get the rights to the ruby slippers when they made the production in 2003 of Wicked, the original production. So it was a fight to even get them for this, I believe.
Well, so that's probably good enough here. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Okay, so we got a cockeyed view of a farmhouse room window, and then we find out as it kind of reverses, we're looking through a mirror out a window, doing this gorgeous slow kind of rotation around the bed. Toto's there.
Oh, Toto.
Dorothy is wide awake.
And looking pretty upset.
Yeah. Now, does Firuza Balk just seem like naturally upset, or is she acting here?
Well, if you think about other characters in other things she's been in, like she's Nancy in The Craft.
Oh, goddamn, The Craft.
And she's in Almost Famous. She's one of the Band-Aids. She's the one who gets, when she's running after the bus, that goes, William, your mom called.
Oh.
And smashes into a bin or whatever, a wall or whatever. That's her. That's Teresa Bulk.
Okay, I'm seeing some pictures here. Yeah, she looks great in a hippie outfit. She played Sapphire.
Sapphire, that's it. I was trying to think of the name. Now they're really Uncle Henry and Auntie Em are really worried about Dorothy not sleeping.
He looks wrung out, like he's like limping around, just kind of grunting.
Because he broke his leg and he's got no money and he can't build the house because their house is still in Oz, their original house, and this is only 6 months.
Oh, I didn't know it was a money thing. I thought he was just being lazy about fixing the house.
No, he's broken his leg, but it's well healed. When she has the little chat with Auntie Em, it's like, oh, he's got to get the house together, and she's like, but he had a broken leg. And it's like, that leg is well healed. So he's got some sort of depression, maybe alcoholism is kind of the vibe I got. I believe in my notes. What did I say? Henry is a lazy SOB.
To me, he looks haunted. As if, like, his parents were killed in a hurricane or something. Like, he looks that upset.
I nearly lost his niece.
Interesting. Well, that kind of stuff can project onto kids. So if they're already feeling kind of grief-stricken and scared or whatever, it can make that worse. Like if we're thinking of this movie as partially about a traumatized child or like a lonely child missing her friends. That's why she has insomnia, right?
They don't believe her about Oz either. And so they think she's going insane because she keeps talking about this fantasy world that she disappeared off to in the last cyclone.
Oh, Uncle Henry does say we don't have any money.
Yeah.
Somebody named Garnet said she'd loan it to us. Charity. Yeah, so in Kansas at this time, like nobody wants to be taking charity. Like you're supposed to be a rugged individualist. It can be taxing on a man.
It's 1899. It's hardly the frontier.
Yeah, you're right. I guess what I mean is like the rurals, like living on the edge of poverty.
Especially when you've got to build a whole new house.
Yeah, there were a lot of speculation booms and busts. They might be in a little depression.
This is the Gilded Age.
Oh, it wasn't great for any common person, let alone a subsistence farmer.
Yes, I'm watching the Gilded Age at the moment. It's my favorite of the dress shows. But those people are mostly rich.
So they're going to take Dorothy to Cottonwood Falls to see this Dr. Worley character. But Dorothy sees a shooting star. She snaps out of bed, and she's got a purpose.
She's onto it. She's like, what was that? Is there some message?
A shooting star, Toto. A shooting star.
Toto is so cute.
I love the dog. Oh, man. You don't see any of him the whole movie until right at the end.
He has a real sad scene where she's driving off with Auntie Em to the psychiatrist and Toto chases them.
Yeah. I love the farm set. The cinematography is great. The framing. All the little things that are happening, the wind's blowing. It takes a scene that might have just been kind of dull and it like just enlivens it. You know, we get all these different areas of the farm. She's looking for the egg.
It's obvious they're outdoors as opposed to the original 39 where it's obviously a soundstage.
Yeah, they do a great mix of location and like comp shots and matte paintings and stuff here. I mean, I guess the entire farm could be real, but I don't think so because the house is like fully completed by the end. I don't know. I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
It just seems unlikely.
Well, and it's in England.
Oh, yeah, it's in England for sure. But if it is movie magic, it's crazy. Like the smoke's coming out of the stack of the house and like chickens are bobbing over in this corner. It's great. Oh, but I was going to say that like it's wild that they set up the entire location, right? Like a lot of times you'll do this geographic to like give people a sense of like where things are in space, you know, as you do the movie. But then we never come back here until like, I don't know, maybe a little model shot at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely not a painted background that they've superimposed movement into. As we've seen in a few other things.
So Billina's trying to distract Dorothy from finding her egg, and she kicks up a key.
And the key, which I thought it was a stretch that this was a key from Oz. It just looked like a key that had a line through a circle, like a no smoking sign. Like she's really stretching to be like, oh, see, Oz, it's a key from Oz. But she does have the shooting star from the night before to kind of, you know, bolster her explanation.
Yeah. I think part of it, too, is that the director wants us to think this movie might be about how Dorothy goes crazy. So, like, she's seeing Oz everywhere. So maybe don't make the key so obviously say Oz.
Yeah.
Right. At a certain point, we just accept that she's in Oz. This is not that kind of movie. But until you get there, maybe they're trying to keep some tension.
Well, especially because they don't have the clear line of like black and white sepia versus color that the 39 had, which is just a beautiful exercise in cinematic storytelling. It's phenomenal.
Oh my God.
Iconic.
Yeah, listen back to my Wizard of Oz coverage. It was amazing.
That was my test episode that I listened to before I first podcast with Jeff listeners for a fun behind the scenes. When we first started chatting about covering Doctor Who, I was like, oh, he's done Wizard of Oz. I'll listen to that.
Yeah, it was with me and Lindsay and Ben Mooney from Any Album You Like fame. Oh, that was a great episode. I love this show.
So much fun.
Oh, shit. So, let's see. What did you think of Piper Laurie in this role? Aunt M.
Oh, I was about to say she's just stunningly beautiful. Just got that real, you know, she's just a pretty farm lady who she's, you know, classically pretty.
She's got a kind of regal vibe to her, whereas the 39 one was sort of like harried housewife. Slightly different energy.
Also looks older.
Yeah.
There's a lot of de-aging in this cast.
Yeah, totally. So let's see. They Aunt M doesn't believe it's an Oz key. Dorothy thinks a friend sent it to her on the shooting star. They're riding away on the cart, and Dorothy tells Toto to go home. They're off to see a doctor.
Go home, Toto. Toto, go home.
Drive through this weird little town that is obviously a set.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Franklin.
Yeah.
It's just like 3 or 4 buildings. Smallest town ever. Beautiful scenery, that whole section.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Rolling hills and shit. She's never been past Franklin before.
Except to
So
us.
imagine, right, like, imagine you're in this place where nothing really ever happens except maybe the odd dance. And you've never been to the big city. And you go to a place where there's like food hanging off of trees, you know, and people are singing and dancing. Like, come on, there's witches and magic and shit.
No wonder she's obsessed.
Of course you'd want to go back there.
Yeah, this is why I don't understand why she goes home. But I think that's...
Well, she loves her family. She can't bear the thought of them being without her and scared and stuff. But she should have, instead of telling them all about Oz, she should have been like, can we go to somewhere else?
Yeah,
Please?
let's go on
the big city, the beach,
I think
a lake.
Well, this is why back in those days marriages lasted long, because you didn't have any other options. Your options of who you were going to meet in your life were kind of limited to your town and the next town over. So
Yeah.
people were a lot happier to settle. I mean, this is before going into, women not being able to have bank accounts and whatnot. But anyway, It's such a, to me, who grew up in a tiny country town, the concept of never having been that far, I remember that being horrific to me even in my youth when I was about her age, going, oh my God, can you imagine?
But I guess if you're living hand to mouth, or maybe not hand to mouth here, they can borrow money and stuff. But you're living on a margin that tight, traveling a couple 100 miles to, buy your kid dresses and have ice cream or whatever. That's a long way to go on a cart.
Yeah, on a cart,
or a
exactly.
train.
Yeah, and there's traveling magicians and all sorts.
Oh yeah, the crystal ball guy from the first one.
The wizard.
Yeah, the fun comes to you when you live out there, right?
And what is defined as fun has a much more limited scope. They didn't have the sources of entertainment that we have today.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, I should recognize that there are people who've never been able to leave their area for whatever reason. There are people who've never been out of New York City, for example. Just depends. But back then it was much more common just because of all the distances, probably.
Well, they didn't have the technology to travel.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, so 1899 trains are only just, and there wasn't any kind of real mass train in the US.
Yeah, you got to get to the damn train.
Yeah, and the train doesn't take you everywhere because there just wasn't. Yeah. That's a big part of what's going on in the Gilded Age.
Yeah, and it's not cheap to get around.
No, or quick. Something that would be an hour's drive in a car for us today would be a full day's journey
you're gonna take
on a
weeks
horse.
off your job. That's another. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, if you're a farmer, you can't take weeks off to go visit Granny. You just hope she lives in your town.
And how badly must have Dorothy's parents been if she has to live with Uncle Henry and Aunt Em and they're that poor?
You think Mom and Dad went to the big cities just to find work?
Potentially.
Never came back.
Because she mentions it's my sister's kid, blah 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 blah. So you never get an explanation of where Dorothy's parents are. Maybe that's why she has such a strong tie to family. If her parents aren't around for whatever reason, the family she does have is really important to her. But what about her chosen family in Oz?
Well, there you go. Yeah, so Dorothy has plenty of grief and sadness and trauma to go around. I wouldn't blame her at all if she went a little nutso, which she didn't, but you know.
We believe in magic.
Oh my God. She's telling Dr. Worley all these stories. Like, she is really not the sharpest tool in the shed, shall we say.
She's very trusting, but in that era, a doctor, an educated man in that big ass house that the mental institution is in, it's this beautiful that's not a cheap building. So you would just have that, like, you know, it's patriarchy. You got to respect the educated man in a suit.
Oh yeah, and I mean, all of us feel that way about some muckety muck, you know, whatever it is that we respect. You know, if I went to some famous scientist's office, I'd be like, okay, we'll hear him out. But I would hope that I would have the presence of mind not to say some crazy shit without any evidence to back it up. You know, because I'd look like a weirdo or a nut. Somebody who can't be trusted.
She wouldn't have had that kind of exposure. And do you think Dorothy went to school, or did she do her studies at home? Didn't look like there was a school in that town that was a feedlot and a post office. Just saying.
Maybe it got swept away in the hurricane.
And why haven't they taken the key off her?
They took the key away?
No, they haven't. That's my point. I'm like, if that was triggering your small child to go crazy, wouldn't you take it off her?
Oh, gosh. Well, Gosh, that's a good question. I'm not a parent, so I can only just say kind of what I've heard, which is not medical advice in any way. But I've heard that it can be therapeutic to play along a little bit in the early stages of treatment.
True.
Or in severe cases. However, yeah, it's got to be under the care of a doctor, and this is their first visit. So, you know, would they be that? I think at this point you're being careful not to freak the kid out too much. So you're not like, give me all this crazy stuff and shut up about it, which is kind of what M's been trying to do, as best I can figure.
And I just wanted to be sensible, but she's always had, you know, extreme imagination. I actually think it's really interesting that there are so many, like thinking back to the Neverending Story, so many films from the 80s really reinforce that message of the importance of imagination.
Yes.
Which I think is really important. I think that's just as important in 2025, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're biased because we're imagination makers.
It's true. We're literally here on a speculative fiction podcast, so that required, like, by definition, it requires imagination.
Yeah, we celebrate the works of imagination weekly almost. Yeah, as
Definitely.
often as possible. Oh, man. So they don't believe her story because her ruby slippers fell off on her way home, which is awkward. So he shows off his freaky electrical device. This guy's all about cutting edge technology.
Yeah, and they're going to give her electroshock.
Jesus. I wrote he says the 20th century is a comin'.
We are at the dawn of a new age. In just 2 months, it will be the year 1900. A new century.
Century of electricity.
He says the brain is an electrical machine. He says something about the head. I can't remember the context, but I wrote, so because she bonked her head in the tornado, all her adventures are hallucinations.
Yeah, it's excess currents in the brain, and that the brain malfunctions due to a blow to the head and creates excess current, Which is, if you look at the history, I just watched a documentary on, health in the royal family anyway, but it did cover like centuries and the evolution of medicine. And this would have been around the time that they were moving away from the humours, the four humours, which were the things that human bodies were made up of, and you had to, illness was brought about by an excess in one of the four humours. Now he's talking about excess currents in the brain, so it's kind of taking previously accepted medical science and mixing it in with modern technology before germ theory really became the better and more accurate medical science. So this is kind of, it really does right in this era crossover, interestingly.
Yeah, and we know that it's a lot easier to experiment on the vulnerable. So in her day and age, a child, a girl, child of poor people, an orphan, she's got a lot of strikes against her. So
yeah, they're just poor
even
farm
if this
folk.
was illegal, which I don't believe it was at the time, human experimentation, dressed up as like, this is the latest science,
I mean, that's probably still goes on today, to be honest.
Yeah. But I'm always like freaked out by these portrayals because I'm like, sometimes people have to go to a mental hospital. Like, it's just for their safety. There's no other. So if all our depictions of them are of the worst excesses of these places, right? Like, obviously disabled people, like developmentally challenged people, like prisoners, a lot of native people for centuries, like, have been abused by places like this. So, like, that's a part of it too. I have a real push-pull with this stuff. Like Jacob's Ladder is a great film, but boy howdy, it makes the mental hospital look really scary.
Well, a lot of these were based around, is it Bedford Asylum? Something Asylum, which is where the term Bedlam comes from, which was, and it was horrendous. Because that's, I think, maybe Victorian era London. And they would just lock people away and perform horrific experiments on them. But even Freud, like, he's got a history. He treated Prince Philip's mother for hysteria, which I believe they used to treat with electroshock therapy to the uterus. To just, women... What was also the birth of the vibrator, but came about through that kind of experimentation treatment.
Pervert doctors trying to settle ladies down.
Who were not mad at it. A lot of them. Doctor, I'm hysterical again. Help me, help me. Well, their husbands probably weren't focused in on their pleasure, so we've gotten a little bit off track, but there's so many little tells.
I looked up Bethlehem. It's Bethlem Royal Hospital.
There we go. Bethlehem.
It became a modern psychiatric hospital, but historically it was representative of the worst excesses of asylums in the era of lunacy reform. Crazy.
Lunacy reform. What a way to talk about mental health.
Oh, yeah. And it's important for folks to understand that, like, all the laws in the world don't help if we don't have strict oversight and, like, government agencies that, like, make sure they're behaving themselves in there. Like, every time I hear about a person dying in one of those places, I'm like, was that an accident? Or was that, like, criminal neglect? And
it's common even whenever it's trying to if you look at some of the atrocities came out of Scientology with their own approach to mental health, which is very against modern standards. And
Jesus.
Any kind of psychiatric care is completely band, and they do use their own codswallop.
Is that what happened to the president's wife?
One of the suspected. We don't really know what's happened to her. She hasn't been seen in such a long time, and she's still missing. Shirley Miscavige. That, you know, if she's alive, yeah.
It's terrible.
We shouldn't talk about Scientology too much, though. They'll probably come after us.
Oh, God. Have we talked about any church more than we have talked about them? I mean, they're just so terrible.
Oh, I haven't even come close to Unleashed. It's always been one of my
I don't even want to
wins.
watch Tom Cruise movies anymore. Like you mentioned, or people mentioned Top Gun, and it's like, yeah, I watched Edge of Tomorrow because I kept not seeing it, and so I finally watched it.
I haven't seen it.
And then I rewatched Minority Report and felt bad about myself, but generally,
I mean, I went and saw
avoid
Maverick at the cinemas.
oh no.
If that makes you feel any better.
I mean, there's too many villains out here. It's hard to pick which ones to avoid.
But yeah, mistreatment of people with psychological problems, it still goes on today.
I mean, the lobotomies were completely destructive on every level and kept going until, I don't know, way too late.
Well,
50s, maybe?
When is
60s?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest set? Because he definitely gets one at the end of that.
So there's the film. Should I do film or the book?
I mean,
I'm going to go with the book. It's set in 1962.
There you go, still performing.
It's published in 62.
Like, it doesn't seem...
But is it set then? He started writing in 1959. The 60s began the controversial movement toward deinstitutionalization. I don't know if that worked out exactly the way we wanted it to.
I'm also thinking Girl Interrupted.
Girl Interrupted. That place sucked too. Like, why are we doing this to
Have you read the book?
Patients. No.
So that character that Winona Ryder plays, Susanna Kaysen, wrote the book about her own experience.
Some advice, okay? Just don't point your finger at crazy people.
Oh, wow.
So it reads like someone has some challenges wrote it. Because it's very...
Is it fiction?
No, it's based on... It's autobiographical.
Wow, so there was a real Brittany Murphy who killed herself.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. Oh, that's so sad. Like, I haven't rewatched it in forever because I'm like, I don't want to see Brittany die.
That scene with her... Oh, the chickens. Oh. It's a good film, though. You know, you don't get... I think, for me, as a young... I would have been... I don't know, in adolescent when that came out. Seeing female-led stories like that was very rare for me. And...
Oh, yeah.
Like, seeing that kind of thing, like, it's very through the female gaze, obviously, because it's, you know, an autobiographical book. I absolutely loved it. Like, it was one of those ones you went back and watched again and again and again, like The Craft.
Oh, yeah. Oh, The Craft is good.
Especially as someone with, you know, my own mental health journey.
Yeah, I mean, we could expect to end up in a place like that. I visited my brother in a couple places like that. The book selection was woeful. Like, it was just whatever cast-offs somebody decided to donate to the hospital. Like, there was like 3 ping pong balls, you know? Like, supplies were stretched thin. Visiting hours were like 1 or 2 hours a day. Like, it was just... Yeah.
There's different levels of restrictions in different ones about that sort of thing. So, you know, some I've known about where people weren't even allowed to have charge cords.
Oh, God. Oh, and then my brother went to one in Germany. Maybe it was before this, but anyway, he went to one in Germany, and it was like you could come and go. Everything's paid for, obviously. Like
Socialized healthcare. What a concept.
yeah, so like if a patient can go to the town, they can go to the bookstore and get some better books. Like they can listen to music. That isn't 20 years old. I don't know. Our system is fucked up. But back to deinstitutionalization. I don't know if they were any better funded at any point in our history, or if there were just more of them.
I don't think America doesn't have a history of socialized healthcare, right?
Oh, no, never. It used to be a lot cheaper before insurance came about. But yeah, once they could soak a medical plan or an institution for big dollars, yeah, we don't need to go into a history of the American medical institutions.
No, but we should call out that it's happening more and more in Australia.
It got more expensive.
That's happening in Australia, and we have socialized healthcare theoretically, but there's a lot of things that you just can't get decent care for, particularly mental health, without laying out thousands and thousands of dollars. Even my recent stuff, like that's because it's only affects women. Much more expensive.
Well, that sucks. I thought you guys had fixed it.
No, it's only gotten worse because we had a Conservative government who privatized it. So now you still need insurance. Like it's nothing as convoluted as what you guys have, but I still have private health cover. I need it for you can't have endometriosis in this country and not have private health cover and expect any kind of care. Because it's just, yeah, and I'm lucky. I'm privileged. I have a good job that has allowed me to take the time off and do what I needed to do. And also staying in private hospitals versus public hospitals, different level of care. My dad was on public system. My mum was on private when they both retrospectively went through cancer treatments or died, essentially. But just the little things like, when I was in hospital recently, I had my own room. Food wasn't too bad. I could order different things. There were options. I had a screen over my bed that I could log in to different streaming services on, so I could just watch my own streaming services on this screen on a wire. I'm doing visuals here. That's great for an audio medium. But you could watch your TV on any angle, which when you're in a hospital bed and you're trying to get comfortable, that's important.
Yeah.
And these little things that I've really noticed is it makes healthcare easy, it makes recovery easier. Or as simple as I got to choose when I went home, rather than being rushed out as soon as I was even partway functional. So we still have a private system here that is superior care because you get what you pay for, unfortunately. But that's capitalism for you.
Here they kind of push you out when once you've managed to have a bowel movement and can pee on your own and a few benchmarks or whatever, you're fully drained of whatever shit was in you.
Yeah, they have that too.
If you want to stay longer, you probably got to pay through the nose. I don't know. I've never done it.
My insurer was paying for it, so I still had to pay thousands in gap fees, but my insurer was paying for it. But I was able to go, they're like, you can go tomorrow, you can even stay till Wednesday. It's whatever, when you feel comfortable, which is much better than when I had my gallbladder out and they're like, we're sending you home today while I still had drainage out the side.
Oh, Jesus.
I flipped my shit.
That's crazy.
I was like, I am not even going to have a conversation with you about me leaving this hospital until this is gone.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do, minor surgery at home?
No, they were going to take it out beforehand. But I didn't know that. You can't start a conversation with me about going home when I'm still literally have a tube hanging out the side of my body.
No, that's not good.
No.
Okay, well, long story short, hospitals can be fucked up if they're not being strictly regulated. So
Or you're paying a lot of money for them.
Yeah, but then the money people are like paying attention, right? They're sending bean counters and stuff, making sure you're not executing your patients due to liability reasons.
That's true.
So yeah, brains all funky. They're gonna zap her. Dorothy saw a blonde girl in a mirror. Aunt Em is leaving her. And we meet Mrs. Wilson, who's a real character. She's got strong witch energy.
Oh, those shoulders are spectacular.
Those shoulders. What is happening there?
She looks like a headmistress in I'm thinking have you read the Little Princess? Or she looks like the headmistress of a girls' school around this time, who was clearly a little bit evil. But maybe it's just because it's Jean Marsh and it's Beth Mortar.
Now, is Jean Marsh playing Mrs. Wilson?
Yes.
Okay. That's weird. I didn't recognize.
Oh, really? Her face? Maybe it's just the screen I've got it currently paused on. But, yeah, no, that's Beth Mortar.
Okay,
Mombi.
yeah, there are the nostrils. I think of Jean Marsh, and I think giant nostrils pointed right at you.
Yeah, I've definitely.
And the sort of thin-lipped, evil kind of frown face.
I'm going to send you a picture of the exact screen I have it paused on right now, because it's quite... that exact description is exactly the face she's pulling. She has that energy. Those shoulder pads, those shoulders on the sleeves. I love it. There are some fabulous sleeves in this film, actually. I'm thinking of Ozma's at the end as well. And even Dorothy's got some nice little frills on her at the moment.
Jessie, I need to get a wet towel and pat down my face because it's 90 degrees in here. I will be right back.
All good.
It's heating up. It got up to 100 in my mail truck today.
Yeah, I had to Google what that was in Celsius.
Oh shit.
I can't do that math.
35, 38, somewhere.
32.2 is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. At 37.7 is 100.
Cool.
Which I'm sure I'll probably forget. Anyway, we're not even in Oz yet.
Miss Wilson says they have excellent meals there. We talked about her shoulder pads. There's these awful squeaky wheels of the stretcher.
Yeah, it's...
Every time they go to bring her around somewhere.
Those actors are the wheelers.
Okay. The orderlies?
Yep, the orderlies are the wheelers. And also she gives her a lunch pail, like the lunch pail tree. So there's a lot of... And the machine, the doctor's machine, that looks like TikTok as well. So similar to the 39, there's a lot of little...
Oh, how Dorothy's like, and you were there, and you were there.
Exactly.
And I missed you most of all.
So there's little tidbits there, I think.
So was Dr. Worley playing someone in Oz?
Yeah, he's the Gnome King. Same actor.
Oh, shit.
He's the Gnome King.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like everything was disguised from me. Like by making him mostly stop motion, by putting those ugly caps on the wheelers, I can't differentiate these, basic white guys.
I've watched this movie a lot. And my favorite game is usually, I know that actor from this and this and this and this. So seeing them across the same movie in different roles is just a natural connection for my brain to make, I think. Also, they put her in room 31, and Mombi's head is the head 31 is her original head.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's crazy. So she hears Aunt Em talking to somebody. She goes up to the window and looks out. And M's riding away. But then Dorothy sees the magic blonde girl in the reflection off the window. She's in her room. But it's not the same girl.
And she's got a pumpkin head. Another tie-in.
Oh my God. That's a pumpkin. Now, this isn't the same girl as Ozma, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Same actress.
Jesus. I missed all of this stuff.
You'll never watch the movie the same way again now. All of it crosses over. I'm assuming there's probably a moose head somewhere in the doctor's office as well, now that I think of it. I haven't checked. Because all the little things, like she gives her a little jack-o'-lantern, which is Jack Pumpkinhead. Which Tim Burton has confirmed was the inspiration for Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice.
How can she open? I assumed she would have been locked in there, but clearly not. She's pretending to comb the pumpkin.
Oh my God. So strange. So, the blonde girl asks why she's here. She says insomnia. Nobody believes her about Oz. The girl leaves, and we start getting thunder and lightning. And I noticed that the hallways here have really like fucked up angles. Like nothing's ever straight on. It's like a 45-degree angle turn with a door right there. Like it reminds me of the TARDIS in, God, I want to say Castrovalva. But they're like trying to work their way around this area, and it's like everything looks the same, but it's not quite right. It's raining outside, spooky shadows. And Dorothy turns on the overhead light.
And jumps when she turns it on too, which it makes sense because Dorothy would not have probably seen like operated electricity in her life.
What? Surely.
No, this is just around the time when electricity was coming. So the farm in Kansas would not have it. They were using gas lamps. Even in like Downton Abbey, which is set another 12 years after this, they are all freaking out about electricity being installed at the house.
Okay, so Kansas City first got electric illumination in 1882. This is 17 years later.
And so they would not have the network to run out to a little farm.
And she's never been past Franklin.
Exactly.
And here they are in the big city, wherever.
And I did not see power poles in Franklin.
Mm-mm.
So, and because even the doctor mentions it at the start, he's like, it's the age of electricity, blah, 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 blah. So one of the first things they've decided to do since in the 17 years since getting electricity is start zapping people's brains.
God damn. So crazy.
It sure is. And they tie her down. It's so awful. That bit always terrified me as a kid. Like being tied down and... Yeah.
I went to the hospital a few times for operations, and they never tied me down.
They've got the little barriers on the side so you can't roll off.
Yeah,
but
why doesn't this place have barrier technology?
I mean, they've barely got... They're zapping people's brains, so...
Yeah, maybe they're used to people fighting them.
Well, and also, you're zapping someone, they might like jolt around or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, wouldn't they put them in a chair and like strap their arms down rather than like around their whole body?
Maybe that's a bit more electric chair,
Oh, man. Look at him cranking up TikTok, man. Oh, I noticed when she turned on the overhead light, it was kind of awful because the walls look so shitty. Like, this place has the latest everything, but they can't keep their patients' rooms, like, nice and white.
Well, you noticed that the doctor's office was all wooden.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they all just leave her. In the middle of a storm, the power's gone off.
Bananas.
And you're just leaving this small child strapped to a bed and plugged into a machine that looks kind of creepy, that has a tick-tocky winder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does the wind and makes the tongue go back and forth.
That's right.
Oh, I missed Mrs. Wilson saying, "Would you like to go for a ride, Dorothy?" And she goes, "Did I hear somebody screaming there?"
Yeah.
So, yeah, the lightning goes out. Somebody's screaming. Mrs. Wilson goes to investigate. And the doc goes to start the generator. The device is dead, but it seems like it's still making noise. Did you catch
You
that?
can see the thing, and it starts winding on its own. The little key starts... But that could just be like it's unwinding like clockwork stuff. Unwinds.
Yeah. Interesting. Blonde girl comes and takes off the zappy paddles. And they run. She says the people screaming are patients who were damaged. And then are locked in the cellar. Which does not seem like great patient care.
I don't think it was a priority.
Yeah. Ms. Wilson pops out as they're running down the stairs. The girls run out. And then they do this really great wilderness chase scene with multiple setups, like just gorgeous camera moves. Like whoever is directing this, like, I think this is like Walter Murch's only film, I want to say, or like
yeah,
one of the
it is.
few.
It is. No, only because it
He
was
did
not well
his
received.
best. I mean, everything looks so real and so dangerous. The river is like flooding.
Well, this
from the
was
rain, I assume.
the river. This is actually a soundstage,
Wow,
so that makes
it's
it even more
incredible.
impressive.
Even the view from the top.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy. I guess that's why we never see the far bank.
Yes. So one of the girls reported that it was like being in a hot jacuzzi.
Nice. Oh, shit. So their branch breaks. They go floating away. And Miss Wilson falls in.
Oh, she looks so pathetic sitting there with her skirts floundering around her.
Yeah. She's like, please come back. And now, if she was a legitimate, hospital person, she'd have cause to be like, come back. What are you doing? You're going to die. But yeah, villains never know they're villains. So that's about
Yeah,
right.
of course.
Ozma seems to disappear, or the blonde girl, whatever her name is. But Dorothy gets into this sort of box contraption. It looks sort of like a big crib.
I think it's a crib.
Yeah, she crawls into that, and it maintains its structural integrity. And she floats out to sea, which, according to my research,
Kansas
the
is
Arkansas
not.
River that goes through Kansas is not so wide that you can't see the other side. Like the Mississippi is in some places, but like, no, they're clearly somewhere else. Her and her crib here. Billina's here.
Yay, Billina. Now, do you recognize Billina's voice?
I don't.
Junk lady in Labyrinth.
The junk lady?
You remember the junk when she gets to the castle of the Goblin King? And she's like, hurry, look, they're back into your room.
Now then, what else have we got? What's this? Oh, let's have a look. Oh, it's a pencil box. Got lots of pencils in it, too. And oh,
Don't want to go out here with all this junk. No, we'll be in here. Look at your teddy bear. Look at all this stuff. That same voice actor.
Wow, Mac Wilson.
Her name is Denise. Denise Breyer.
Why does IMDb have it as Mac Wilson?
Each of the characters that there's a lot of them that have multiple credits for different characters.
Oh, Denise Breyer. Okay, she doesn't have a picture on IMDb.
I think she's a voice actor only.
Interesting.
Because yes, she is the voice of the junk lady in Labyrinth.
Fascinating.
My notes are very enthusiastic because I wrote the question and then looked it up, and so I'm like, she is.
That's great. She's got a ton of credits.
And they had a lot of different, while we're on Billina, they had a bunch of different chickens that all played Billina, including a robotic one, but most of them were live action. And you had like one for pecking, one for flapping, one for perching, and they had different chickens with different skill sets.
That's amazing. So they've popped up in some kind of pond amidst a rocky desert, and the water drains out. Yeah, she says it's a deadly desert. It surrounds Oz. Last time I flew over it in the old house. So I don't remember her learning that the desert was deadly, but she just seems to know it in this one.
It comes up in the books, definitely, the deadly desert.
In one of the books, they have to ride like a sand boat. It's got like wheels, but it's shaped like a boat, and it has a big sail. That's how they get across once.
That's cool.
So she picks up Billina, and they're walking on the stones, and we see one stone has an eye on it. That, I think that's cell animation. It didn't look like stop motion.
I think the gnomes are really cool, the way they're in the rocks like that and keeping an eye on stuff through the rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So they find some green, there's trees and shit. And she's telling Billina that her friend the Scarecrow lives at the Emerald City. They come across a lunch pail tree.
I love the lunch pail tree.
Yeah, I've always wished we could have those.
What happens if you do pick a green one? Is it like a, is your ham sandwich just the makings of bread?
I think it's just Brussels sprouts. It's just bad food.
Yeah. Headcanon accepted.
Oh, shit. The chicken says, I'm glad it's not fried chicken.
And it just looks so pretty.
So that tears it. It's definitely Oz. Dorothy is convinced. And while they're having a good time, the gnomes meet up, and they're just like a picture on a rock that is sort of like slowly altering as they talk. And they're different personalities.
Like the helping hands. Labyrinth.
Yeah. And apparently whoever they're talking to is terrified of chickens. So the arrival of Billina in Oz is dangerous.
Chickens are banned.
Yeah. There's almost nobody here for some reason. Or there is nobody here. They haven't seen anybody yet.
This is where it is very Prince Caspian from Narnia, when they all go back and Narnia is completely like their castle at Cair Paravel is overrun with like vines and has clearly been abandoned for decades, and Dorothy goes through a very similar experience here. She comes across her house, and this looks nothing like Munchkin Town. Because that's where it landed.
Yeah.
So
it's just rocks and grass and the remains of a torn up yellow brick road.
Such a sad moment when she finds the yellow bricks.
Yeah. It was a budget saver not to have like a bunch of flattened munchkin buildings. It just gave us trees instead.
Yeah, those trees have obviously, had to grow over a fair bit of time. Like, those trees aren't popping up overnight.
Yeah. 50 years, maybe?
Also, the yellow on the yellow brick road is not quite, like, yellow enough in my book.
Oh, yeah, it's lost its luster.
And it's all busted up.
So the yellow brick road is fucked. She freaks out, starts rushing down it. Billina is struggling to keep up. The rocks talk some more, and the king says they won't get past Mombi.
And she gets to the Emerald City a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there were some intermediate steps before she gets to the city, weren't there? Like, she had to go through farmland where the scarecrow was. She had to go through
The woods.
angry tree forest and find Tin Man.
And then like, the more jungly forest to find the line.
Yeah.
And then the poppy fields, no poppies.
You know what? The Gnome King was probably like, those places, we'll just put them somewhere else. I want the brick road to go right to my house. In case I need to, I don't know what.
Well, I mean, he lives in a palace across the Degli Desert in the mountain anyway. Like, he's got Mombi in charge here.
Yeah, interesting.
But this is more true to the books, because in the books, the Emerald City wasn't actually made of emeralds.
Right. They had to put on their green glasses when they go in.
All part of the wizard's illusions.
And the Emerald City looks like absolute shit. Everything's just crumbling and shitty. There's bad graffiti. People turned to stone. Now, are these actors painted to look like statues, or did they make statues?
I would say they made statues, I think, and have obviously costumed certain people for when they all turn human at the end. Spoilers. Again, very Narnia. White Witch had her whole thing. She used to turn everyone to stone. And the headless dancers.
Yeah, that was really freaky. They're fucked when things go back to normal.
So my problem here is Mombi has at least 31 heads, and there's only 6 dancers here. And later it said she got the heads from the headless dancers.
Oh, so you feel like we should have got a lot more.
Yeah.
Like a whole dance floor kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then she finds the Tin Man.
Oh, poor Tin Man. He's kind of a cartoony Tin Man. But I think they went that way so they could get the spindly arms.
Yeah, it's a good effect.
It looks more like a robot. Billina says, all this way to see a bunch of stiffs. And then the Wheelers show up in their ugly hats that look like faces.
Very like Silurian. They've got the masks.
How at first you think they look different. They've got wheels for hands and feet. How are they propelling themselves, the actors? Are they just roller skating?
I don't know. I think so. Well, there'd have to be like some sort of stability built into that costume. Because that's not CGI, that's absolutely practical effect.
Yeah. So they walk her into a dead end, and she's fussing with the wall. And... oh, the Wheelers shriek at each other? I hate that.
Everything about them is awful. Their faces, it's all very like Clockwork Orange, kind of terrifying punk. Oh, that was really obviously the robot chicken in that scene.
So she gets the key out and opens up the door. They're locked out. And I would be thinking in this moment, I told you so, Aunt M. This is a real key that does magic.
I mean, it's real lucky the first hallway she runs down happens to be where it almost feels like someone's got time travel powers and is making sure she's got the right information and the right tools to unlock the mystery.
Yeah, I want to read these books again because I don't know if they're just saving time by making these magical things happen, coincidences that work out. But could it be that the Gnome King is driving, or Mombi is driving her to this place for a reason?
Well, the Scarecrow seems to know somehow. To know enough to leave TikTok there and to send her the key.
Yeah. The Wheelers are scary, but how do they kill people? Do they bite them or hit them with their wheels?
I always imagined their wheels were sharp.
Oh, gross.
And they could be bitey too.
Ugh.
Like ice skates kind of thing.
Yeah. I prefer that to them just beating her to death.
Yeah.
It's cleaner. Just cut her throat, be done with it. So they find TikTok. They think that he didn't turn to stone because he's not alive. And TikTok says he'll be her servant.
Well, he's been left there under instruction by the Scarecrow, the King of Oz at the time, to wait for Dorothy Gale. TikTok is my favorite out of all of Oz everything. Absolute favorite Auzian, especially when his thought winds down and he starts going a bit mental. It's great. But we know I love the comedic every time. Give me the comedic relief every time.
Yeah.
Except for Jack. Jack's too stupid.
Yeah, he's friendly stupid.
No, what bothers me is his insistence of putting mothering duties onto a small child. That's my problem.
Yeah, no.
Can I call you Mom?
Yeah, he's like a overgrown 6-year-old.
Yeah, don't like it.
Yeah.
But love
Sorry,
TikTok.
I'm just hung up on that. I froze. Yeah, he's great. So the door opens, TikTok peeks through. He's surprised at all the devastation, which I don't think we mentioned. Oh, yeah, we did. That there was graffiti everywhere and it looks like shit. So he peeks out the door and the Wheelers show up. And TikTok grabs the lunch pail and just goes to town on him.
That's the best.
Just whipping it around. Yeah, he's a boss. He's like the Data of this movie. I was about to say this show, but this film.
Oh my goodness.
He's indestructible. He's smart. But making it so you have to wind him up, that was kind of a design flaw. Couldn't they have just had one wind up thing rather than 3?
Well, what technology does it make to make a mechanical man? Maybe that's just how they were able to make it work.
They have 3 separate systems. I could see it. So he forces a Wheeler to tell his secrets. I guess just by dragging him around. He says, I am only a machine, so I cannot be sorry or happy, no matter what happens.
You're right, very Data.
I am programmed in multiple techniques.
Wheeler says only Princess Mombi knows where the Scarecrow is. He's a real baby, this Wheeler. He folds like a house of cards.
Yeah. I will call out as well Feruzia's intonation mirrors Judy's really nicely throughout this. The acting choices she makes with her voice, particularly when she says "oh no." Although I feel like that meme now. Oh no.
No.
Anytime an Australian says "oh no."
Oh no. So TikTok lets the wheeler go. I don't know what he was planning. Beat him to death. Lets him go. And she says, or I guess TikTok says, behave yourself now. He's not going to behave himself.
No.
No.
The sass between them, between Billina and TikTok, I just love it. Like, Billina is a cynic, criticizing Mombi's, housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing.
It's really rugged inside. But then they go up the stairs to the, the palace room. And it's gorgeous. Got fancy plush cushions on the gilded chairs. You got golden mirrors and
It's like the Hall of Mirrors in Versailles, I was gonna say.
Nice, yeah. Gorgeous place. Chandeliers.
You got no problem with housekeeping in that room.
Yeah. For a second, I thought this was Sarah Sutton playing this Mombi head. I had to look it up. It's somebody named Sophie Ward. But she's very pretty.
So many heads. Like, way more than the Dancing Girls, just saying.
Too many heads. She's playing the mandolin. Help me to rise.
There's awful spiky bits on the back of her dress. Like, only a villain would wear those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. They're like evil wings. I think I'll put on something more appropriate. Come with me. Your friends can stay here.
And then the new head. She's very...
I can't believe she takes a child into the Hall of Heads. Like, terrifying. Why are you subjecting her to this horror?
I do love her nails, though.
Headless Mombi is very strange. Somehow it knows where it's going.
And it snores when she hasn't got a head on.
Oh, I wondered where all that snoring was coming from.
I've got so little, just the little things that bother you, isn't it? Like why couldn't Toto talk, but Billina can?
Toto's not here, is he?
But in the original, if animals that come from Kansas can talk in Oz, why couldn't Toto? Because Billina is from Kansas.
I think we found our first Wizard of Oz plot hole. Because it was the same in the original movie. Maybe even the books. I don't remember Toto talking in the books.
I don't think Toto talked. Billina definitely did in the books.
Yeah. Huh.
Maybe that's chickens are extra smart. Maybe that's why they're banned as well. The Gnome King's egg allergy.
Could it have something to do with how she arrived in Oz with Toto?
Yeah, Billina just kind of turns up, doesn't she? We've got no real reason why she's there when in the water. She's just there when Dorothy wakes up.
The Billina Problem. Let's write a term paper on this.
I probably could do at least 1,000 words on that.
It'd be funny if she was the Gnome King's spy. She just looked just like Billina. She was like a shapeshifter or something. So, let's see. Mombi pulls out the red key, takes out the number 4 head, and she's walking around. And then Dorothy tries to escape.
Something isn't good here. Slow on the uptake is Dorothy.
Yeah.
I'd not have left my army.
Well, how was she to know that Mombi would want to take her head?
The spikies on the dress. That is only a villain is wearing that. Like, that is something I would expect to walk down the runway on RuPaul's Drag Race on evil villain night.
Yeah. So Billina is like biting on Mombi, and she chucks Dorothy and Billina into the junk room. And through the window, she can see a far-off landscape with a mountain in the distance.
This is very true to what we see in Wicked, in the Defying Gravity scene when Elphaba runs to the top of the castle. This is the top of the castle. The window is very similar.
Interesting.
Which I enjoyed.
So it looks like the Gnome King's mountain is in the desert, in the Deadly Desert.
Yeah, it's over the Deadly. You've got to go over the Deadly Desert to get there. I mean, that's one way to protect your fortress.
It's so close. I feel like everything got closer together in this one.
Maybe it's as the imagination of people is starting to fade, like in the Neverending Story. Oz gets smaller as less people are using their imaginations.
Maybe it was like the Sahara, the desertification, like swept over the land.
True.
Of course, that's taken hundreds or thousands of years rather than a short time like this.
We don't know how many years have gone past in Oz, though.
If the Cowardly Lion's still alive... Oh, although he was turned to stone.
Yeah.
I imagine all the flying monkeys are probably dead.
Well, who knows what happened after the Wicked Witch of the West died? Like, did her spells undo? Because those were her spells that turned them into flying monkeys. You know, we're taking Wicked as canon.
I think in the book, the monkeys asked to keep their wings, but I could be wrong.
It could, like...
That's how they were transformed.
Well, in Wicked, it's an accident.
Oh, yes. That's right. So there's paintings of the scarecrow and the lion. So somebody in the castle picked up painting. Somebody calls Dorothy Mom, and it's this fucked up pumpkinhead named Jack Pumpkinhead. He says, "Will you please check my head for signs of spoiling?"
If he's been in there long enough for Mombi to forget about him.
Yeah, she made him and then never let him go outside.
Didn't Ozma make him, though? That's why she's the real mom.
She must have made him right before she got deposed because he's never been outside. Ozma built him to scare Mombi? What a terrible plan.
Yeah.
My mother built me to scare that awful witch Mombi. She stood me in a place where Mombi would meet me, face to face. And along she came. Sure enough, she was scared. But then she was angry. She has a terrible temper.
Oh, that's funny. I feel like Pumpkin sounds a lot like Matthew Broderick. Did you get a Broderick vibe?
I mean, you know, circa Ferris era kind of vibe, yeah.
So the powder of life is what made Jack wake up, and the powder is kept in the cabinet 31 with the original head. And Dorothy has a plan. Jack sneaks them into Mombi's lair, where TikTok is. They skulk over. Jack is being really fucking loud. Jack asks if he can call Dorothy Mom. to which he's very pleased when she says yes.
Deeply problematic.
Yeah. She whispers to TikTok, tells him to be quiet, and then she tells him her plan. She goes to the bedroom doors, slips in. Mombi's asleep. Apparently Headless Mombi is snoring. I never even thought that she didn't have a head on.
Bothers me so much.
Upstairs, TikTok and Jack put together the flying creature. Billina's helping, I guess.
Billina is supervising, yeah.
Yeah.
Providing feedback.
The head is kind of a moose thing. They call it a gump.
I've never heard it outside of this be called a gump.
Yeah, I don't remember that from the books.
Maybe it's an Oz animal. He is green.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely an Oz thing. I just don't know if it's in the book. Probably. Probably.
And this is the best bit because TikTok's thought winds down and he starts going, he's like, tie Jack's feet together. Jack just does it.
He's losing it. He's falling apart mentally. Dorothy unties the ribbon on Mombi's wrist. Headless Mombi flops over. Dorothy gets the key. And yeah, TikTok is totally losing it. Dorothy gets to the Hall of Heads. They're all sleeping. She gets to Head 31 all the way at the end. And Jean Marsh is in there. Asleep?
I think they're all asleep. Maybe that's where the snoring's coming from.
Yeah. So Dorothy is sort of slowly reaching in. And she bumps something and 31 wakes up. Dorothy grabs the shit. Jean Marsh is like, Dorothy, girl! Dorothy, girl! These heads are all screaming. It's really fucked up. All these screaming ladies. Headless body chasing after her. Fucking A. And she sees that white dressed figure in a dress near a door. Or is it just a special effect? Yeah, no, she sees Ozma. Eventually it coheres. They put the shit on the gump and it seems like nothing happens. Billina's like, read the damn directions.
Love Billina.
Like, yeah, this is me. I don't read the directions. So she says the magic words and they get ready to go. Mombi gets her head. She shows up right as they're leaving. They blast out through the wall, off the balcony, and Mombi can't stop them.
She's got an amazing nightgown.
Oh, yes. I'm going to reverse so I can see it.
Fashion chat.
Yes. That looks great. So it looks like they're going to fall to their deaths, but they don't.
Which also gets recreated in Wicked. Out of that same window.
Yeah, the first flight. So the outside of Mombi's lair looks like shit. It's the Emerald City, I guess. So, of course, it's completely destroyed. It kind of gave me a Khaleesi, Dragon City. What's that place called? King's Landing.
King's Landing. Oh, after she's destroyed it all.
It's just ash.
Yeah.
Mombi yells for the Wheelers to wake up. We get this pretty shot of the Gump flying across the moon.
I bet she wished she had some flying monkeys now.
Oh, yes. Mombi yells, bring back that chicken.
In the book, she was also formerly the Wicked Witch of the North, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
Because Glinda was the Witch of the South in the books, not the North.
Okay. So the Gump asks what he is. Dorothy's like, you're just a thing with a Gump's head on it. We put you together. He doesn't think he'll hold together for too long. Billina wants to go back to Kansas. Dorothy gets really sleepy.
She goes to sleep a lot in this. We get a lot of great Fruzy Bolt kind of waking up shots.
Whatever happens, I'm awfully sleepy right now. And I'm just glad I have my own head to be sleepy with.
And Jack says, "Good night, Mom." Back at the palace, Mombi plays her mandolin. Her hair is really fucked up from all that exertion. She looks over at the Ozma ghost or whatever in the window, and she says, "There's nobody left who even knows who you are." And I gotta say, that's kind of some genocidal shit. Like, you know, wiped out your entire people.
Yeah, and as of when? Because Ozma's supposed to be the daughter of the king before the wizard. So how long has she been trapped in the mirror?
I mean, I assume since the Gnome King got the shoes, that was probably one of his first tasks.
Yeah, but she wasn't around during the original.
Dorothy meets her in the South in the second part of the Wizard of Oz book.
There you go.
I believe she's the princess down there.
Oh, and they start... They have a pretty
So
dark
Jack
conversation.
suggests, Jack suggests making the ship lighter by dumping TikTok.
Some real, like, who you eat first kind of dark conversation, again, for a kid's film.
So the Wheelers mob after him through the forest, and then one or two of them can't stop before they tumble into the deadly desert and turn to sand.
But now we know Dorothy and Co are flying over the deadly desert, which is quite dangerous.
Yeah.
Dorothy's just snoozing.
Snoozing away.
We get some telling shots of the rope.
Yeah, we see the rope fraying. Daytime arrives, and the ropes are really losing it now. This scene kind of goes on a little while they try to rescue Pumpkinhead's head. But then we get another of these kind of Deus Ex Machina kid physics things where they fall down on the snow and they aren't totally destroyed. Billina flies just fine. So apparently there was a fog layer 20 feet up and yeah, they weren't hurt.
They're right on the edge.
TikTok's on his ass.
Dorothy conveniently lands on the couch.
Which does not look like it's puffy enough to save you from a fall.
In a perfect sitting position, too.
Somehow she knows they've reached the Gnome King's mountain. I guess because it was the only one in this direction. Rocks have another chat. And one of them says, "Now she is on our mountain with a small army." So I'm not sure if they're talking about TikTok or like the group of them are the army.
Well, I quite like that. It could be either.
Yeah, that's fun. The Rock says there's no sign of the chicken. So do we know now that Billina is hitching a ride with Jack, or did that happen off screen?
No, that just happened then. Right before the Gnome King starts talking to them.
Got it. So he's nice and chatty. Dorothy is very proper, being diplomatic and stuff. The gnome says he's never heard of Dorothy Gale, which can't be true, right?
No.
And he's like, well, so if somebody steals something, they should give it back. What if they don't want to give it back? And she says she has an army. And the Gnome King laughs. And then he fucking cracks the ground open and they go tumbling down. Or maybe it's just Dorothy that tumbles down.
I think it's just Dorothy, but the others get magicked there later.
Yeah, and so she's flying down this gravityless area with all these pretty pictures of gems. And he's saying that the Scarecrow stole all my pretty gems. Or, the Emerald City.
Someone from the world above.
And she says, "You have so much." And he says, "That is not the point." He sees the Scarecrow and then boop, he's gone. So the Gnome King clearly is a massive dick. he let the Scarecrow stay here alone in the dark for a while until she arrived. He says, "I'd been planning to do it for some time. I've turned him into an ornament." She is really upset. She says Scarecrow never stole any gems. They were just there when he came. She's weeping. He never stole. And the Gnome King, comforts her. So he's just playing pretend, right? He doesn't actually give a shit.
He's just playing a game for his own amusement, and he says as much to Mombi later.
Poor Dorothy Gale from Kansas.
I think that's why he lets her see the Scarecrow and then quickly disappears him.
Yeah, he says, "I didn't realize he meant so much to you. Let's play a little game." Cut back to the Wheelers. They return to Mombi. They tell her that she went to the mountain. Next, the Gnome King explains the rules of the game. You gotta touch an object and say Oz, and if it's a person, they'll turn back into themselves. But he won't tell her how to pick.
No.
He ropes her friends into it. The Gump doesn't want to do it, but somehow he does it anyway.
I don't know how the Gump touches anything, but...
He tells him to use his antlers.
Oh, does he? There you go.
And then he goes, "I should have quit while I was ahead." Oh, no, that was Jack. That was Gump. Yeah, because he's just ahead of a dead Gump.
He's already lost half the couches that made up his body and his wings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. TikTok wonders what they're risking. And then the Gnome King, does some lightning effects. And it turns out that that's to signal that the Gump lost.
And it's had his
there's some mess with food that she can't eat or drink. That's kind of dumb. But yeah, Gump is toast, turned into a knickknack. Dorothy says, "That's not fair." And the King goes full mask off. He says, "What I think is all that matters. Perhaps you'd like to visit my fiery furnace?" He blows open a wall. You see lava. Such a dickhead. And Jack gives Dorothy the saddest pep talk ever. He's like, "You don't have to worry about me. I barely existed. And TikTok's not even alive." TikTok says, "I have always valued my lifelessness."
Very Data.
Yeah. Mombi must have found a long underground tunnel so she doesn't have to go over the desert. And she is riding some kind of chariot made out of wheelers or pulled by wheelers.
Yeah.
TikTok starts throwing shade at Jack because he's not very smart.
Jack did want to throw him out of the Gump when it was coming apart. I wouldn't be keen on that. I'd be throwing shade too.
The Gnome King has gotten more realistic all of a sudden, played by a human. He's smoking a pipe. And then he says, "You came all this way for a scarecrow?" And he busts out the ruby slippers. And now we understand why he's so damn powerful. they made it possible for him to conquer the Emerald City.
Yes.
TikTok winds down. And so the Gnome King's like, haha, you have to go in and wind him up.
Which is quite the clever bit of subterfuge from TikTok.
Yeah. He tells her, you don't have to go down there. I can use the ruby slippers to send you home. That's like the temptation of Christ.
Your heart is so greedy. It pretends to be humble, but it really wants to conquer the world.
I never wanted a kingdom on earth. The kingdom of heaven is enough.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
Like, you could be selfish, not worry about all your friends turned into ornaments. And she's like, no, I'm doing it. And it looks like kind of a museum, just sort of a jumble, maybe an antique store with not so cluttered. I noticed she's being awfully carefree with her fingers, but you have to say Oz.
Yeah.
So that's fine. She's not going to turn anybody by accident. So she starts winding TikTok. And they hug. And apparently he cries antifreeze. Did you catch that?
No.
Bright green blob lands on his chest. And she says, you're crying.
Matches his green eyes. Oh, yes, there it is. Drip, drip.
What does he say? Dorothy Gale, you're all that's left. I think that's him. Oh, no, he gets turned into something or other. And their plan was for her to watch and find out what he gets turned into. But, of course, could be anywhere in the room. She doesn't get to see anything.
No.
Back at the Gnome King's lair, Mombi shows up. And is trying to get an audience with the king. Dorothy makes her first wrong guess. And we get some thunder or whatever. The king is such a dickhead. He makes Mombi lie down and then still says lower and starts laughing. Just an absolute creep. Dorothy only has one guess left. Back to Mombi. She's trying to make her case. The Gnome King starts gloating. Mombi mentions Ozma, and the king is like, you've still got her, right? She's like, yes. And the Gnome King somehow plans to become human.
Well, he's becoming more human with each incorrect guess. So he's
okay.
Yeah.
And the only people who have guessed so far are her friends. It's not like a bunch of other people guessed.
No. And you notice each time you get the thunderclap, he gets a little bit more human each time.
Okay. And what does he plan to achieve with that?
I don't know what the objective is or why becoming human is desirable.
He's one of those Knights King motherfuckers that just wants power at all costs.
I think so.
It's not like he wants to date a human lady. He just...
Maybe he's got the hots for Mombi.
It's there. God, I can't imagine. You don't treat somebody that badly if you have the hots for him, do you?
People do. I mean, he epitomizes toxic masculinity, really.
Oh, absolutely. He's like a billionaire. Like he just has all the power.
Well, he's got all the jewels. He's Elon.
Yeah, absolutely. So she realizes she can't pick, so she closes her eyes. Here's our next saved by magic moment. She looks down at it and she's like, this isn't the first one I touched. This other one rolled, so I should probably pick that one. Unless she thinks that because it's green, it somehow matches him thematically. Okay.
I think she's just got a vibe that green, because she changes at the last second. And it's the first thing she mentions to the Scarecrow. You were green. You were in a green ornament.
Yeah. So, let's see. She guesses the Scarecrow. He appears. He goes looking for another green one. And the gnome realizes what's happening, and he's getting very pissed. They find the Gump. The king puts Mombi in a phone booth. So she can't get away while he deals with whatever's going on in his museum.
He's also blaming her when before he's like, it's fine, I've got it in hand. And he's like, oh, wait, now I don't have it in hand. It's your fault.
Nomi's shaking things up. Scarecrow finds another ornament. Nomi's there with lava. He's reaching out, trying to pull the sofa into his mouth, but they manage to yank the Gump head off of it, so the Gump lives. And he starts activating all his gnomes, and they're like shapeshifters, kind of, but they can't leave the walls that they're in.
Oh,
Like, they can reach out a little bit, but they can't, like, separate themselves from the walls. And luckily, they don't come out of the floor. We find out Billina is inside Jack's head.
Which we got a little nod to earlier, because Dorothy has a quiet little chat to Billina before Jack goes in to do his guessing.
The Gnome King grabs him. I keep thinking he's gonna, like, his head's gonna come off.
I thought the same. I thought.
But he's holding on to it, and then he, like, loses his hat, or, you know, the top of his head falls out. And Bellina's in there, and she lays an egg, and it completely fucks up the Gnome King.
That is one hell of an egg allergy.
Yeah, the gnomes are like, poison, poison. Poison. In effect, poison. No, they don't say that. Poison! So my first term paper started here. It seems that a symbol of life can take away the life of a silicon-based life form. Interesting. I guess that's just magic, right? It's like how water killed the Wicked Witch of the West. Or a house killed the Witch of the East.
Yeah, it's very... There's a lot of different random things that could take out these witch types in Oz.
Yeah, I mean, this is early in the days of, like, modern fantasy, so these tropes were just beginning.
And they all melt away.
Collapses into fire, and the roof starts caving in. Dorothy's got the shoes. She makes a wish that everything's restored and everyone's back.
Solid
and
wishing.
Poof. Instead of being in the Emerald City, Dorothy and her crew are out in a field. Why do you think they did it that way?
Well, they've got to do the scene where they, reappear TikTok. You need a scene for that to happen in. And then when we go back to the Emerald City, it's all kind of the celebrations and stuff.
So if they'd appeared in Emerald City, they wouldn't get to walk into the Emerald City.
Yeah, this big celebratory parade. And the Emerald City is silver. So that ties into the books better.
So the Gump had a medal on his antenna, and they realize that's an ornament, so they guess. And it was like Doctor Who. There was a little bit of magic left at the end of the giggle.
We won the game. You got a prize, honey. Here is mine.
So they got TikTok back. And Mombi's still in a cage. I don't know. Did they leave her out there on that field?
Yeah, well, she's kind of been sent back with them. And she's not, like, I guess she's misled rather than truly evil.
Yeah.
That's what I always thought was the implication anyway.
Okay. Emerald City is pretty, but it seems, I don't know, this may be just a budget thing, but it seems kind of cheap and gaudy to me.
Yeah, I agree.
But there was a bit of that in the book, too, so,
And they're not wearing green glasses because the wizard's gone, right?
Right.
It was the wizard that was enforcing, yeah. So
the guy that's leading them, he has this beard that looks so fake. It's like, is this guy in disguise?
Well, the munchkin behind him as well in the blue hat, that guy is the one who's in the Chronicles of Narnia as well. Okay. He's the original Reaper Chief, who was played by Warwick Davis, in the films, I believe.
Okay.
Or he
Next
was Trouble.
Mamba.
Oh, no, he was
Mombi being dragged in.
Nickabrick, that's who he was. Anyway.
Nickabrick. What was he in?
Chronicles of Narnia. There's a lot of crossover with Narnia here. But this makes sense because this was filmed in the UK. It's a British show.
And yeah, this is the palace. This was Mombi's lair. Turns out it was where the king lives. And the crowd wants Dorothy to be the Queen of Oz. A bit rude. You just got the king back, and you're already trying to replace him.
Oh, will she rule with the Scarecrow? And this is what makes me think Ozma's been gone for longer than just the Gnome King's been there. Because why was the Scarecrow king when they had the daughter of the king before the wizard? I think she's been gone since the wizard's time. Because Mombi was still around if she was the evil Wicked Witch of the North.
Interesting. Okay. She says, I wish I could be in both places at the same time. And she starts to tap her heels together. But just then, she sees Ozma in the mirror. Or I guess Billina sees her first. Ozma's in the mirror. And she needs Dorothy to help her get through the mirror.
Now, does this imply that Dorothy and Ozma are the same?
I mean, they're definitely thematically linked in some way, but I assume if anybody was in the mirror that Ozma could take their place.
Maybe, because the mirror made me think maybe it's like Atreyu and Bastion.
Yeah, they have some commonality to them.
And again,
maybe
with the amazing...
you have to be the same age, or maybe you have to have the same love for Oz or something.
And their representations of each other in different... Because Ozma's been in the mirror world, and that's maybe why Dorothy was brought over to depose the wizard. And now free a second time to free Ozma.
Yeah, so Ozma tells them her name, and Jack, just falls down. I'm not sure why that happens.
He faints.
Yeah.
She's
swoons. Ozma, queen and rightful ruler of Oz. Her father was king of Oz before the wizard came. Ozma grew up as Mombi's slave.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Gnome King was like, keep her away and I'll give you 30 heads.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I love it.
So I guess he was afraid of Ozma. He didn't want to take over until she was out of play.
Well, she's the rightful ruler, right? You can't. It's a lot harder to rule the people when their rightful ruler is still hanging around. It's very The Princes in the Tower.
Richard III.
Mm-hmm.
She says a witch with no magic is a miserable creature indeed.
And then Mombi.
Oh, because Dorothy wished away her powers. What's her name? Mombi.
Must have done. And she's got I love the sass response of it, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
I think just as I enter my 40s, I identify more with these characters. Billina, Mombi.
Billina chooses to stay in Oz.
See, Billina, life goals, sensible, sassy.
She probably thinks she's going to get all the food she wants. Maybe a nice cock.
Is she?
Or maybe she thinks she'll be immortal. Do animals grow old and die here?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. They can talk. Why would you go back to not being able to talk and just like burk, burk, burk?
Yep.
When you've actually, you find your voice, you're much less inclined to give it up.
Maybe nobody's told her there's no other chickens in Oz.
Yeah, well, she's definitely not going to find cock then.
Oh, man. Maybe there was a ton of them somewhere and the Gnome King just like locked them up or something.
Oh, she reversed everything the Gnome King did, so that would have brought chickens back to us.
Okay, cool.
That was the wish.
Cool. So Billina will get plenty of tail.
Plenty.
So Dorothy gets wished away. She's sad that she doesn't have time to say goodbye to everyone. And boom, she's next to the river. She's on the dirt. There's a whippoorwill. Nice little bird trill. And Toto's there.
Hey, Toto.
Yeah, that's sweet.
We get another
She loves that little dog.
Dorothy waking up moment once again.
Yeah, I feel like they should have given us more time with just Dorothy and Toto. Like Uncle Henry shows up like it's nothing.
Oh, and he's like throws his stick away like his busted leg, which is the reason he couldn't finish the house. Oh, suddenly I'm going to throw my stick away and he's suddenly healed.
Oh my God. Wow. They did not sell that really. That just passed me by. Like it's barely on screen for a second and then it's gone.
So I've watched this a million times that I only picked that up as a grown adult.
Aunt M runs over. Everybody was searching in the same damn area. Like, what kind of search is this? Of course, we don't know how time's passing between cuts. Maybe they were hugging for a long time. I don't know.
Oh, and the cutest thing happened when Toto's like crying in Dorothy's arms. Zenith woke up from her nap and was like, What's wrong with the little dog? Oh, it was so cute.
We learned that the clinic was hit by lightning and burned to the ground. And Dr. Worley went back in for his machines. That's a nice tidy end to that bad guy.
Well, that's why they killed off the gnome. It fits with Oz too. They killed off the Gnome Kingdom. We see the nurse Wilson going past in a prison cage.
Oh.
So somewhere in the time where they were searching for Dorothy, they've obviously found out what's going on at the asylum, and someone's doing something about it.
Maybe during the fire, they went down to rescue the people in the basement, and they were like, "Oh, some shenanigans have been going on in here."
I think so. That's the natural. That seems like a sensible tie it all off. But you get that nice imagery of her peering out the bars the same way Mombi was in Oz.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. there's some real somber music at the end of that scene for some reason. It seems like it should be happy that the bad guy was sent away.
Yeah, my note is the music is so dramatic.
Yeah. It's really good music throughout. But yeah, this moment was a little, I don't know. I guess she did put Dorothy through hell, so it makes sense to give her like a, that was a terrible lady moment. But then we're back to Uncle Henry putting the finishing touches on the house.
With his perfectly fine leg.
He's got a new lease on life. Dorothy looks happy.
She's got her own bedroom.
Yeah, clearly some time has passed. And I don't know if this is the first time she's done this or if she's been doing this every day, but she like rubs her mirror and goes, Ozma. And Ozma appears.
With her amazing shoulders as well. There's just some great sleeves in this film.
Great costume, yeah. It's almost like the soft, kind of feathery version of what Mombi was rocking.
Mm-hmm. I do think that's a choice by the costume department, definitely, because she also had the extreme sleeves when she was in the asylum as Nurse Wilson.
Yeah. She's got those Princess Leia bun things, but her...
That's part of her crown, I think.
Down. Yeah, that's great. It's too nice a day to stay inside. Come on, Toto. And, yeah, I think that's something M says. And, yeah, they head out. And there's this beautiful shot of the farm. Dorothy's running around with the dog.
And I think this shows Dorothy embracing life in Kansas instead of fantasizing about Oz, so it kind of bookends her mental health episode between the two films.
Interesting. So all she really needed was an opportunity to see her friends again and say a proper goodbye, and then know that she can still communicate in some way from time to time.
Ozma says she'll be looking in on her from time to time, and if she ever wants to come back, she can.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that she was so focused on getting home the first time, she didn't realize how much she would miss Oz. And that's what's triggered her mental health episode.
It seems to me that our mental health facilities should be installing Oz doors. You know, give people a little adventure. They'll come back healed. Everything's fine.
I mean, it, in theory, could work.
Yeah, holodecks. We need holodecks.
Well, I will say the best thing for my mental health in my life has been travel.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
It forced a certain level of freedom, but also a different kind of responsibility and the requirement to just make decisions without overthinking the 10 worst possible scenarios each time. And just, I got so much better at being alone in my own head than I never had been before. I was just really bad at my own company. Whereas being on the other side of the planet from all my friends, so I was in Europe, so everyone, like, the time differences are pretty juxtaposed, and you know, I just did not have the access to my friends because they were all asleep when I was awake, and I had to find my own entertainment and make new friends. And when I got sick of the travel conversation, the standard one, which is the same every time. How long you been? Where are you from? How long you been traveling for? Oh, that's a long time. Are you working or yeah? There was the same conversation in every pack of smoking area, no matter where I went, and so I just got sick of it and had to just be used to my own company, which was something I've learned to appreciate through travel.
That's really cool.
You know, if you ever have the financial capability, highly recommend going backpacking for a year. It's a good time.
That sounds awesome.
It's kind of a rite of passage, a lot for Aussies, like to go and do, you know, a few months in Europe as kind of a gap year type scenario. Usually people can't afford to do it for a year. I only could because my mum passed away. But
had some funds.
Well, it had been my dream since I was a little kid, so I think these kind of films really had an imprint on me in that way. Like wanting to in Europe seemed like the closest thing I could get to Oz.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, the Emerald City Palace has a Versailles feel, like you mentioned. Like, it would make sense to want to go to those type of places.
And the exterior is like Neuschwanstein Castle, which is what Walt Disney based the Disneyland castle on.
Oh, wow.
So that's a real castle in Bavaria that I have been to, which is just amazing. I cannot begin to tell you how stunning.
And then it turns into a sepia freeze frame with a painting, kind of, what's that called? A picture frame around it. And the credits roll. It's awesome.
Oh, that's so much. It's so much fun. Like, it's, as I said, doesn't feel like as long as it is. With Willow, we could have edited that thing down by half an hour easily. I don't see much in here that wasn't needed for the story.
Yeah, I could find a few spots to tighten things up or to make a little snappier. But overall, yeah, I think this was a good length. And after having seen it now for the third time, I could see coming back to it. I think having just seen it once, I thought, well, I've seen that. I get it. It's scary. I'm not going to do it again. But going through this process and really like focusing in, there's a whole lot of artistry, some really big swings. I mean, having non-human characters interacting, like, that's unusual in live action. I mean, it's almost like it's a little bit like a Roger Rabbit, except instead of cartoons, they're, animated props or whatever.
I know I've made a million references, but like, again, it's very Narnia. That crossover of going from our known world to some sort of magic world through whatever kind of portal is pretty cool. Like, it's something that tells a story in a certain way, I guess, a bit more than like maybe the Roger Rabbit example, because that's its own, like, Toontown exists separate.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's not as fantastical because the people who live near it know all about it.
Yeah.
Whereas only Dorothy knows about Oz.
Yeah, rather than like the whole, I guess, Harry Potter world that exists parallel and exists within the Muggle world.
Mm-hmm.
And they just use their magic to hide the secreting wizard act or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Wizarding World. In Oz, I don't remember in the books if any other normals end up there or if it's just Dorothy.
I mean, if it's just Dorothy, it really does lend to it's all in her head.
Yeah. I think it was a good attempt. It did a lot of things really well.
Doesn't deserve the hate.
No, I think it just suffers being compared to like one of the greatest films of all time. It's hard to,
You really can't compare much to The Wizard of Oz, 1939.
Massive Oscar winner. It's my favorite film. Like, of course it's going to be hard to like separate that from, something which is doing a much different thing.
And most films weren't in color, those back then. Like, the way it was so groundbreaking on so many levels. as a piece of cinema, and it still holds up today. That is still a great watch.
Oh, yeah. And the spectacle, like it just had everything you want out of a massive film. And it had Judy Garland, who was like a once in a lifetime.
I'm like doing the We're Not Worthy bows from Wayne's World here.
Right. I mean, who even touches Judy Garland's garment? You know, Beyonce, like there's very few.
Judy Garland is my personal hero, so you're not going to find anyone who I'm going to say is not a greater icon. I absolutely adore Judy Garland. I mean, Judy Garland is posthumously responsible in part for the Stonewall riots and the gay liberation movement even occurring in the US, because that was the night of Judy Garland's funeral. Wow. And it was an extra level of emotion in the air. So when the police came and did their raids, a lot of people would come there for drinks after the funeral.
Wow.
And so it's speculated there was an extra level of emotion that then resulted in people wanting to stand up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I could wax lyrical.
Ball could not possibly match her energy or verve. You know, she's also like much younger. So yeah, it's comparing it with that film is not very useful. But I think just standing on its own, it's better than 6.8. I'll tell you that. I think it's having seen it now, like without my nostalgia brain on, I would say it's 7.5, maybe an 8. You know, it's not something I'm gonna watch every few months, but like it is good, and I would recommend it.
I like it in the 7s. I think 7.5 is a good number. It's got some problems, which I suspect a lot of them would be budgetary. I know they had a lot of issues with getting budget for this. I know it really hurt the career of the director. I don't think he did anything else. But yeah, if you're going to make an official sequel to one of the most beloved films of all time, you're already starting off on the back foot. Like you've got some challenges.
Yeah, I don't even think I would have tried to get the ruby slippers. You know, it's like if I'm not going to have the same amount of money and reach, like what's the point of paying for that? You know, it's just going to make people compare them.
Which is, I think, part of the decision with Wicked, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that was, that film, that was first staged in 2003. And it was, I mean, even in the book, I don't know when the book was written, but that had, because that's based on its own book. And doing a prequel kind of people, I mean, look at the reaction to later Star Wars films. People get really upset when you expand on childhood lore. That's why I think there's such heavy critique of Doctor Who anytime they do anything new. Because people, even why I resisted watching the reboot in the first place, I was like, don't mess with my childhood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whereas this was my childhood. Return to Oz would have come out right around the time when I was watching these kind of films. Don't remember a time when I hadn't seen it. And The Wizard of Oz was my favorite.
The film received an Academy Award nomination for Best Visual Effects, but it lost to Cocoon. I haven't seen Cocoon in ages.
I've not seen
30, 40 years. It's not going to last the test of time. This film will. I don't remember the effects from that movie.
If it was early CGI, it'd look rubbish now.
Oh, man. She lost... Oh, Saturn Awards. Those are less prestigious. But Barrett Oliver from Neverending Story won one for Best Younger Actor for Daryl. I like Daryl. I was just listening to Neurotic Literature. It's James Lark's short story podcast. And James, friend of the show, we did Bartimaeus coverage. But anyway, he was rattling off like beloved 80s films that like, you know, maybe don't matter anymore, but fill him with like deep love. Most of that story is about the Karate Kid.
I love the Karate Kid. I'm such a Karate Kid person, not a Rocky person.
Oh yeah, I didn't hang with Rocky. I've never liked what's his name?
Stallone.
I liked him in First Blood, and I liked him in Demolition Man, and that's about it.
He was not someone, like, the first movie of his I ever watched was Cliffhanger.
I never watched that one.
Oh, it's a piece of shit. It is my go-to for the worst film of all time. And I'm not the only one with this opinion, but John Lithgow does play an iconic villain in that.
Let's go.
He's but yeah, no, I remember watching that and being like, it was kind of the first of like, you know, action movie I was ever, because it wasn't the sort of thing my parents were into as far as the movies we watched either. Much more very British influences in my house.
Well, I loved it. This was great. Thank you for suggesting this one.
I'm so glad we finally got there.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's iconic. I love it. Anything with Oz, I'm on board.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do Wicked at some point. Maybe when the second parts come out and we can do it in like a 5. How long's that going to take? How many hours can we talk about 2-3 hour movies for?
That might have to be a 2-parter.
I would think 3-parter.
Okay, so did we have a plan for next time? Because I just scrolled past something that we haven't done weird fiction in a while.
I was thinking
sci-fi and fantasy.
We've done quite a few fantasies in a row. I agree. I think
so Pink Floyd's The Wall is on the weird fiction.
Let me find the list.
Which I absolutely love.
Can you send me the list again, please?
Sure. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, Twin Peaks. For some reason, I have The Muppets Take Manhattan.
Oh, I remember when we talked about that.
Not sure how weird it is, but it's pretty weird. Yeah.
I was also thinking we haven't
fiction.
Stranger Than Fiction. I love. It's the like one of the only Will Ferrell films I enjoy.
So okay, we're doing either a weird fiction or a horror.
I was going to say sci-fi because we haven't done much sci-fi lately either.
Ooh.
Arguably, the only sci-fi we've done is Doctor Who, which was much more of a fantasy vibe this season. We covered it anyway.
That's right, yeah.
Ooh, Terminator 2.
I live for science fiction. There's, yeah, you want to stick with movies instead of TV?
Oh, we can do TV. I'm cool.
Could make things easier.
I mean, I'm more of a. I know I love both, but it's
Fallout and Silo are great one season. Like the first season of Silo is incredible, and the first season of...
Oh, we could do some Red Dwarf.
Oh, Red Dwarf. I just watched, God, what was it? There was Simulations. It was season 10. Rimmer met his holographic brother, who was just as much of a dickhead as he is.
Of course he would be. 12 Monkeys.
Let's just, for fun, roll here and just rattle through some, see what comes up. So there's 103. Boom. 85.
103 is Batman Returns, which I'm not mad at.
The Wonderful Flight to the Mushroom Planet. Does that ring a bell?
I've never heard of that.
A Wonderful Flight to the Mushroom Planet. Let's see. It's a children's science fiction novel written by Eleanor Cameron, illustrated by Robert Henneberger, and published by Little Brown in 1954. How many pages is this thing? 214. So we could probably knock that out in 4 or 5 episodes.
And we could actually, the other thing I was thinking is we can bank a few because I'm off for at least another month. So we can do more of these midweekers.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I don't think there's a movie for this, but it sounds fascinating. I think this was a James Lark recommendation. And he's got great taste. Yeah. What do you think? Keep rolling?
I mean, I keep coming back to 12 Monkeys. That will be depressing, though.
Oh, the film? That's a fucking great movie. I love it so much.
Same. I've watched it again and again and again. Terry Gilliam of Monty Python fame. Amazing.
Speaking of Terry Gilliam, I just rolled 73. Brazil.
I don't know that one.
My absolute favorites. Oh my God, it's so good. It's from the 80s. The guy from the Infinity commercials. He played the High Sparrow in Game of Thrones. Jonathan Pryce.
Oh, yes.
Is the main character. His mom is Mona from Who's the Boss? Whatever her name is. It's fucking great. Michael Palin is in it. It's like a what if a dystopia was obsessed with bureaucracy?
Oh.
It's like that.
Oh, that I've just thought of a few more we need to add. I'm like thinking like we could do a Black Mirror episode.
I'm not a Black Mirror fan.
Too real, too much.
It's too bleak for me. Next one I rolled was Battlestar Galactica.
Again, it's not one I've seen, but I have time at the moment. So
it's not something that would make any sense to you unless you'd seen the TV movie that starts it.
Okay.
And that's only a couple hours. That could be a fun thing to do to like dip your toe in, see if you'd even enjoy that sort of thing.
Or Futurama. There's some, especially like those first 4 seasons. There are some absolutely iconic episodes, and we could do a couple of like kind of flashcasty quick ones. Quick for us is probably a normal.
Okay. Yeah. Futurama's good. The next one I rolled was Star Wars: A New Hope.
I mean, I'm not mad at that either. I do like,
it sounds like you're itching for a comedy.
I like it. I know I'd be happy to do like Terminator, but if we were going to do Terminator, I'd want to do Terminator 2 because that was more just formative for me. Or
Judgment Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was a kid when that came out. Like that one. I like it. Your original role was 103, which is Batman Returns, which I do love. That's one of my favorite Batman films.
Oh man, I've been rolling 103. There's actually 107. Oh, but we did Eternal Sunshine, so there's 106. Let me roll at 106. Just for one more. 69. Metropolis. That's one of the oldest sci-fi movies there is. Yeah, I'm thinking either Red Dwarf or Futurama.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe we could do a couple. While I'm off work, we can do some more midweek pods.
If we could do both, I want to start with Red Dwarf. Now, would you want to randomize Red Dwarf?
Early Red Dwarf.
Early seasons are the best.
No, early. I would want to go like.
Do you want to go pilot or like pick your favorite or randomize it?
My favorite is Quarantine.
Well, let's do Quarantine.
You can't go past Mr. Fwibble. That's a good teaser. And I'll have a look at some different. I might watch just a bunch of Futurama and go, this one will be a good time.
The Christmas one is fucking legendary. With the Santa.
Oh yeah,
evil Santa.
That is good. I was thinking of the one where you get with all the time jumps with Niblet, where you find out that Nibbler was there on the day, and that's 3 seasons in, and it's such good callbacks. Remember Squiggly Puff Jr. song?
Just remember that Scooty Puff Jr. sucks!
Whatever it is called, the thing.
I think I've used that soundbite.
Scooty Puff Jr.
I think I used that soundbite in one of our episodes.
I love it.
Well, okay, so let's do a Red Dwarf. It's quarantine.
Do quarantine. Do you want to pick? You can pick the Futurama then.
Okay, cool. I will write that down. My pick. Cool. So stay tuned for that, listener. Recommendations? Got anything?
Yes, I do. Rosehaven, which is an amazing Australian TV show written by the incredible Celia Pacquola and Luke McGregor, about small town life in Tasmania, which you've had a snapshot of through Deadlock, but Rosehaven is far more wholesome. It's just a lovely little nice time. I watched Shutter Island for the first time on the weekend, and I needed something nice and calm and low stakes and wholesome. So that's my recommendation, is Rosehaven.
That's awesome. I was supposed to have been looking for something. I've read so many books. Oh, I'm going to Worldcon. It's in Seattle this year, but I didn't think I'd go because I only have so much vacation. But I just happened to have my 3-day weekend link up with it. So at least I get to do 3 out of the 6 days. And hopefully I'll get to vote on best novel.
Have you been reading the other ones?
So that's the thing. I have to knock through I'm just finishing up The Tainted Cup, which is fucking amazing. I think it's my pick of the ones I've read so far. And there's 2 Adrian Tchaikovskys, which I started reading one of them and I didn't like it at all. And Alien Clay was out at the library, so I'm probably going to have to buy it. But yeah, I think maybe I don't vibe with Tchaikovsky unless it was just that one book. So right now I'm leaning towards The Tainted Cup. The Sorceress one was really good, but I don't think it's the one I'd pick. What's that called? A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. It was very good.
I mean, these things don't get nominated because they're crap, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's either I used to read the Children's Book of the Year nominees every year, the shortlist, because my mum was an English teacher and she got access to them early. And so she would always get me to read them and give my opinion as well. And I've gone back. I had a little book club with my friend Robin, where we went back over all the shortlists from the 80s and the 90s to read all this classic Australian children's literature, which is incredible.
That's awesome.
I just thought of the other recommendation I had for you, which is a documentary I've just found called Doctor Who Am I?, which is a documentary that the writer of the 96 TV movie made about his own experiences venturing out into fandom. And this guy is egotistical. Because he's really I'm above this convention life, da-da-da-da-da. And you see, and he's fans, I don't think of myself as a fan. But you see him kind of meet all these Whovians at all these different conventions and kind of slowly understand what the fandom means to us as fans and how it's kind of built. We were often nerdy, lonely kids who loved Doctor Who, especially in the 90s. And for us to have been able to find that community within the Whovians, I mean, we met because of Whovian fandom, right?
Yeah. Adam Richard Has a Theory. Go listen to it. It's a great podcast.
Definitely. This one you watch him slowly come around, but because he goes to all these different, and it's very specific about what the experience of being a Whovian in the US is as well, which I found. We didn't have that same, like, it's always been there tied to the culture that we in Australia and obviously the UK have.
Yeah, the only way we got to see it was on our public television stations, which, just for fun in the news, they are destroying the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which
fantastic.
It'll affect all manner of stations, various shows. Sesame Street was on there, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah, that's...
So, yeah, progress, I guess.
Yeah, I watch a lot of, while I've been unwell, I've been watching a lot of period dramas, and quite a few of them came from your PBS.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, they do things that aren't profitable, and the BBC does the same thing.
ABC's the same as well. Like, it's
right, yeah.
When you're spending taxpayers' dollars.
Kids in the Hall were a Canadian broadcasting show. Have you seen Kids in the Hall?
No. I watched a lot of Degrassi.
Incredible. Okay. This is like an adult comedy show that nobody in Degrassi is allowed to watch. It's very gay friendly. It's a great show. The movie they made wasn't perfect, but it's funny as hell.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
Called Brain Candy. All right, that's our recommendations. Thank you for listening, folks. Jessie, where do they find you on the internet?
Yeah, they find me at Cosmic Cowgirl, starting with a K, KOSMICCOWGIRL, at everywhere, except for TikTok.
All right. You can find me all over at El Jefe Tacoma. You can find our Facebook page, The Great and Secret Knowledge. And I do some other shows. I do Shattered Worlds RPG, which is a space opera actual play set in the world of my books. It's got cyborgs and zombies and spaceships and wizards and all kinds of great stuff. And it's a comedy show. You'll love it. And I also do Omniversal Escapades every other Sunday at 6:30 Pacific on Twitch at twitch.tv/Omniversal Escapades. That's a tabletop role-playing game show. And we play several different games. And it's also a comedy show. It's really great. I think you'll enjoy it. All those episodes are archived at youtube.com/Omniversal Escapades. All right. We almost made it to 3 hours, Jessie. Can you believe it?
Yes, I can. I've heard our other podcasts.
All right. Take care of yourselves, listener. Thanks for listening. And we'll end it with a quote.
Oh, let's wait. I see a bunch of stiffs.
A huge thanks to James Lark of jameslark.co.uk for providing our wonderful theme song. Thank you, James.
I'm glad it's not fried chicken. All this way to see a bunch of stiffs.
You could take basically any Billina line. She's the icon, the queen.
Bring back that chicken!
I want to see a Billina drag queen now.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, listener, if you do a Billina drag show, please get us those videos and pics.
Please.
Yeah, invite us to a show. Yeah.
Oh, like that might break my I'm not going to America.
That's right. You will ensure that Jessie will come visit. Show off those big red breasts. Let's do this, listener.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, man. This film is an hour and 45 minutes plus credits, I guess. I was afraid it was 2 hours. But it's good. It packs a lot in.
It doesn't feel like it's as like, I don't know, Willow felt long.
Yeah, that's kind of the benchmark I'm comparing this one to. Because it wouldn't be fair to compare it to the original Wizard of Oz 1939. Because there's no
how long
music
is that?
or dancing. That can't be more than 90 minutes, right?
Oh, no, I would have said it was longer. It feels...
Let me look it up.
I was about to.
Hour and 41. So it's pretty close to this one. But there's no song and dance stuff in this one. So it's hard to compare that. Also, no Judy Garland. You know. Fewer humanoid characters, which I think makes a difference in terms of like audience identification.
Yeah, I think so. And it's definitely built for, like, it's just got that 80s fantasy vibe where there was I'm sure I've quoted my friend Richard before when I showed him Labyrinth. You guys watched a lot of fucked up shit in the 80s.
Yes. This guy stole a baby because he wants to date a 14-year-old. What's the problem?
Yeah, sure.
Remind me of the babe.
We've got some absolutely dark stuff that goes on it. Like, it was the Cold War. There was
fucking time bandits. I believe the parents are killed.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, well.
It's very good. You should see it.
I have ADHD. I will remember. I would remember.
Yeah, we should do a watch party on that one because it is a lot of fun. Like, is it Warwick Davis in that one? Let me look up.
I'm not sure.
There's some little people, or at least one little person.
Well, there were a few in this as well in the end scene. A few that I definitely recognized from other things, such as, what was it? From the Chronicles of Narnia, the one I'm continually referencing that we will need to do, the 90s one from the BBC.
Mm-hmm.
Because Warwick Davis turns up in that, and quite a few people from Willow turn up in that. I imagine the pool of little person actors isn't huge.
Yeah, I didn't recognize them as like famous. I mean, there's David Warner, but he probably wasn't playing a dwarf.
Or Red, what's his name? The one that did he was in Willow, but he was also did all the Oompa Loompas in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the crap one.
That guy's not in this one.
I thought he was in the end scene. And I'm sure he turned up on the IMDb. Because I did my usual, I'm going to troll all the IMDb trivia for fun facts to bring to the party.
Mm-hmm. So Nighthawk was Tilo Pruckner. No, that's not him. Teeny Weeny was Deep Roy. And I'm not
Deep Roy, that's
Deep
him.
Roy in Time Bandits.
I'm seeing if he was in this.
No. No. No.
No.
No.